Hi, welcome to my video on proofs in coordinate geometry, part C. This is the third video on proofs in coordinate geometry. And again, pause the video and let's see if you can work these out. Triangle KHV has vertices of K08, H60, and V00. Prove that the midpoint of the hypotenuse of the right triangle is equal distance from all the vertices. So we have to prove that the midpoint hypotenuse of a right triangle, we got a right angle, and they're equal distance from all the vertices. So again, as previous, I like to draw a picture, and then we have K is 0,8, so let's pretend that 0,8 is somewhere way up here. They don't have to be exact. K, that's K is 0,8, and H is 6, 0, so there's H. V is 0, 0, so we have a triangle K, H, so there's the triangle that I have labeled, and there's V, 0, 0, so this point here is 0, 8, this point here is 6, 0, and this is the origin of 0, 0. So show that the midpoint of the hypotenuse of a right triangle is equal. So we have to show that we have a right triangle. So we get the slope of KV. And the slope of KV, K is 0,8 and V is 0, 0. Slope is Y2 minus Y1 over X2. V is 0, 0. So that's negative 8 over 0. And that's a non-defined slope. And a non-defined slope means you have a vertical line. So notice that this 0, 8 and 0, 0, the x coordinates are the same. So because the x coordinates are both 0, 0, we have a vertical line. Now we'll do the slope of VH, and V is 0, 0, H is 6, 0, so the slope is Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1, 0 over 6 or 0, and that's the slope is 0, so that makes it a horizontal line. Horizontal line got a slope of 0. That means that the vertical line is perpendicular to the horizontal line. We can't say negative reciprocals. Therefore, that means that angle V is equal to 90 degrees. That means that the triangle KVH is a right triangle, and that makes KH is the HYPOT. KH is the hypotenuse because it's opposite the right angle. Opposite the right angle. Hypotenuse is opposite the right angle. So that means we have to get the midpoint of KH, because the midpoint is equal distance from all three vertices. So K is 0,8 and H is 6, 0. So we're doing slope, or we're doing midpoint, sorry, big M is for midpoint. So the midpoint is 0 plus 6 over 2, 8 plus 0 over 2, and that's 6 over 2 is 3, 8 over 2 is 4, so the midpoint, and let's call the midpoint, let's give the midpoint a letter, so we can say the midpoint is, let's use big M for midpoint, so KH, so let's call the midpoint big M. So we got to prove that this midpoint is equal distance from all three vertices. So we're going to prove that KM is equal to HM is equal to VM. So let's do K and M. K is 0.8 and M is 3.4. So let's get the length of KM. And the length, or the distance, is x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1 squared. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So it's 3 minus 0. Y2 is 4 minus 8. And that's a 3 squared plus negative 4 squared. That's a 9 plus 16 square root of 25, which is 5. So now let's do the length of HM. So we have H is 6 comma 0, and we have M as 3, 4, and write it down. So it's the same as here. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So without writing it all down again, I'll just put it like that, and I'll use this one. x2 is a 3 minus a 6. y2 is 4 minus a 0. And so that's negative 3 squared, 4 squared, 9 plus 16, 25, 5. And we have to get the length of VM. V is 0, 0, and M is 3, 4. And the distance formula, again, is x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1. And this is the x1, y1 is x2, y2. So we have x2 is 3 minus 0 squared. Y2 is 4 minus 0. And that's 3 squared, 4 squared. That's a 9, 16, 25 square root 5. So we have the length of KM equals the length of HM equals the length of VM, which is equal to 5. So we have proved that the midpoint of the hypotenuse of a right triangle is equal distance from all three vertices. Okay, another one. Again, pause the video and see if you can work these out. Prove the quadrilateral MATH is a trapezoid. If M is negative 4, negative 1A is negative 3, 2, T is 0, 4, H is 2, 3. And again, let's draw a picture, just an estimation. Negative 4, 1, there's M. A is negative 3, 2. Oh, M is -4, -1. No, I got on the wrong spot. A is -3, 2. T is 0, 4. So, and H is 2, 3. So we go M, A, T, H. So as you can see, I have the diagram drawn, and a trapezoid has only one pair of opposite sides parallel. So it looks like that AT is going to be parallel to MH. So I'll get the slope of AT and the slope of MH. But it says only one. So really, you have to prove that AT is parallel to MH. Then you have to also do that AM is not the same slope as TH. So if the slopes are not the same, they're not parallel. So you got to do these pair are parallel, but it says only, and only means I have to do the two pairs of opposite sides to show that one is parallel and one is not. So here we go. So let's go with the slope of AT. The slope of AT, and A is -3, 2, and T is 0, 4. And the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And that gives me 2 double negative, positive, so it's 2/3. And let's do the slope of MH. And M is -4, -1. And H is 2, 3. Again, the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And double negative is 4 over 6, which is 2 over 3. So the slope of AT equals the slope of MH equal to 2/3. So that means that AT is parallel to MH. Slopes equal segments parallel. Now we also got to do the slope of AM. So A and M. A is -3, 2, and M is -4, -1. Again, y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1. And we have a double negative, so that's a -3 over -1, which is 3. And now we have to do the slope of TH. So the slope of TH, write down what T is, write down what H is. T is 0, 4, and H is 2, 3. And I just y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is x1, just to make sure. I didn't do that up here, but I'm just doing it here. y2, this is y2 is 3 minus 4. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's negative 1 over 2. So the slope of AM is not equal to the slope of TH. So that means that AM is not parallel to TH. Slopes are not equal. Hence, MATH is a trapezoid. Because only one pair of opposite sides parallel. So notice I proved that one pair was parallel, or is parallel, and the other pair is not. That's the official way to do it, if you accept that the definition of a trapezoid is only one pair. Check with your teacher, make sure. And then we have another proof to do. Prove A is -2, -1, B is 1, 0, C is 4, 1. Prove that these points are collinear using two methods. The first method I'm going to use is this. Again, I'm going to draw a little picture. A is -2, -1. B is 1, 0. C is 4, 1. So notice collinear means points that are on. Collinear means points on the same line. So if you have the 2 points AB and you draw a line through AB like this, then this line continues on, and if they're collinear, if you do the line through AB, it'll also do it through C. So we could get the slope. Let's get the slope of AB. And then we'll do the slope of BC. And if the slopes are equal, notice we're using B twice. So if we have the slope of AB is equal to the slope of BC, and B is there twice, there's only one line that will go through B and A. There's a line through AB, there's a line through BC, but this line got to be the same line. And that means they're all points are collinear on the same line. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Double negative, that's a 1 over 3. And BC is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, 1 over 3. So the slope of AB is equal to the slope of BC, which is equal to 1/3. And since slopes are equal, the points are collinear. Notice I used one of the points twice. So the points are collinear because the slopes are equal. And the second method on that would be similar to this one. So if I drew this segment like this, and if I put these here like this, if this was the length of 2, and this was the length of say 4, then the total length from here to here would be 6. So if I add these two together to get 6, that means the points are lying on the same line. To illustrate this, if this is 2, and I go off on an angle like this, and that's 4, well, the furthest distance in a straight line would be 6. But if that's 2 and that's 4, and this is not a straight angle, this distance here will be shorter than 6. So the second method I'm going to do is to say I'm going to take AB and add on BC, and it should be the same as AC. So I'm going to do it according to the lengths. So I'm going to get the length of AB. So A and B. A is -2, -1, and B is 1, 0. So the length is y2 minus y1 squared. Or I could go x's and y's. You go x's or y's. I've been doing x's all along. x2 minus x1, double negative. That's a double negative there. So that's 1 squared plus 3, that's a square. So that's 1 plus 9, which is root 10. Now we'll get the length of BC. B is 1, 0. C is 4, 1. And this time I'll write out the whole x2 minus x1 plus y2 minus y1. Just then we did the x's and we did the y's. Well, let's see. I did the y's first, and then I did the x's. Or we can do the x's and then the y's. It makes no difference. So we go x1, y1, x2, y2. Here I put the y's first and then the x's. It makes no difference. So if I go 4 minus 1 and 1 minus 0, that's a 3 squared, 1 squared. That's a 9 plus 1 is root 10. And I'm going to get the length of AC. And A and C. A is -2, -1. C is 4, 1. And x2 minus x1. y2 minus y1. Again, you could reverse it and put the y's first and then the x's. It's your choice. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So we have 4, subtract -2. Add on. I got the A and the C just to make sure. And we have y2 is 1, subtract -1 squared. Double negative, double negative. That's a 6 squared, 2 squared. 6 squared is 36, 2 squared is 4. That's the square root of 40. The square root of 40 is the square root of 4 times 10. So it's a 2 root 10. So AB plus BC equals AC. AB is root 10. BC is root 10. AC is 2 root 10. We add radicals. We got a 1 on that's a 2 root 10. Because there's a 1 here and a 1 here. Like adding like terms. You add the radicals, you keep the radical and add the 1 and 1. So because the lengths add up true, then the points are collinear because the sum of the distances are equal. So again, you could have did it with slope, but you have to use one of the points twice. So the two slopes are equal, so the points are collinear. Or you could use the sum of the distances. Your choice. I thought I might mention the two of them here. And if you like my video, click on the like button, subscribe button, visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content of my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.